the Mister. So the Mister kind of caught some people by surprise. I don't think there were a lot of these available, and they didn't sell out real fast, even though there weren't a lot of them available. But then all of a sudden, people started seeing reviews of this device and hearing that it's really good, and all of a sudden, people are looking for them on the classifieds. So, um, I think it's going to become a pretty hot item, to be honest with you. So basically, the idea behind the Mister is that it's a yes, Jerry, exactly, Mister Mister. I thought they should have named it Mister Mister. While we're talking about '80s bands and Devo tonight, I think that they should have called this thing Mister Mister, and yeah, it just engraved like sunglasses or Kyrie on or something on, I don't know, but um but anyway, so yeah, the Mister. Um, it's a very simple looking device. It's very, it has a very plain or clean or whatever you want to call it look to it, or broken wings. Yes, good call. Um, so it's very, very easy to set up. It's designed to be easy to use and easy to set up. It has, let me go through the specs real quick. It's available for €160. Let me give you the link real quick. It's available over at Vape. It's a Depeche mod. That was good, Halo. Thank you. Well, people are people. Um, so anyway, the the Mister, €160. They will be coming back in stock eventually. I don't know when. The easy build, 4.5 milliliter juice capacity in this guy. It is going to be modular, so you're going to be able to buy different size tubes for the base eventually, so that you'll be able to use different size batteries. Um, it has, pretty standard construction on the button. It's, it's a spring-loaded button, and it has, a knurled lock ring on it. Um, the One of the things that they said on the site in the specs was that the lock ring may malfunction in some 18500 batteries. My understanding is if the battery is very, very long, so if it's a very long 18500 battery, and I know that sounds weird because they're all supposed to be the same height, but if it's a button top and it's a longer 18500 battery, because there is some size variation, I guess what can happen is it can cause the lock ring to become tight. I haven't had issues with the batteries that I'm using on it. The lock ring's been nice and smooth on mine, so I haven't had a problem. But apparently that is a potential thing that you should look for. This is, like I said, something that they have listed actually on the specs on the website. So this isn't something that I am saying as part of my review. This is information that's readily available. So anyway, in the 18490 mode, it is 134 millimeters, and then the drip tip is 15 millimeters, but it can be longer depending on how you have the juice flow set up. And it's 22 millimeter diameter, and like I said, 4.5 milliliters of juice. Hold on a sec. One moment, please. So what all comes with it? Pretty straightforward. This is what you get right here. 18500 hybrid. All the tubes that you get with it are right here. You can buy different additional tubes later on. They're going to be available. You also get 2 other tank O-rings. So I'm not sure. So I guess if you find that the tank O-rings are too tight, and you're not able to screw it down flush, then you can replace them with a smaller O-ring that it comes with. And if you do find that you can tighten it down all the way, then there's no reason to replace it with the smaller O-ring. Um, so I guess there's a slight variation depending on the hybrid with the machining, maybe of the threading. I'm not really sure exactly, but I didn't have any problem, with mine screwing down flush. As you can see, you can't see any O-ring there, so no issues personally experienced there. So, it's all stainless steel, as you can see. It's very heavy. It's definitely got some meat to it. The tubes are thick. There is not a lot of room inside there for any kind of battery rattle or anything. And it's a self-adjusting spring in the switch anyway, so that's not going to be an issue with vertical battery rattle, but there's no horizontal battery rattle either. So it's a meaty device. It definitely has some heft to it. It feels really. I don't mind it though. It's not something that I might not want to have in my shirt pocket all day, but it definitely feels really well made, and it feels like strong and hefty, and like I could throw it against a brick wall and it would be fine. Which is a good. It's nice to have a mod that you can throw against a brick wall. As far as the looks are concerned, I don't love the look of the knurling, but I understand why they did it. If you will focus, maybe? Of course not. Why would you do that? Hold on. Alright, so it's got knurling, as you can see, along the top there, and also in the center here, and then also on the lock ring. So I understand why they did it, because the way that this is designed is it's really, really snug. Everything fits really, really snug. And the O-rings fit really, really tight. And when you tighten this thing down, it's snug. Like it's really, really tight. Especially the part up here, especially the atomizer chamber at the top, the tank. And if that knurling wasn't there, it might be difficult to unscrew it because of how compressed those O-rings are, and how snug a fit that is. So I understand why they put them there. It's just not my favorite thing as far as the looks are concerned. Not a huge deal. The finish on it actually looks really nice. As you guys know, I do prefer brushed, but this is a nice light media blast finish. I think it looks good. It looks clean. I just realized I didn't have the bottom part screwed in all the way, but there you go. So, I think overall the device looks really cool because it's just a nice clean look to it, but I don't love that knurling. That's the only thing I don't love about the look. It does have a really nice logo on the bottom. This is the VJ Mods logo. If it will maybe focus for me. Let's try it without the hand. Huh? Huh? Oh, God. Hold on. Alright, so this is the VJ logo on the bottom here. Let's see if I can angle it so you can see it a little bit better. So, as you can see there, VJ, and it's got kind of a little gear around the outside of it. So, yes, VJJ. Exactly. I'm going to do the review a little bit backwards, and we're going to talk about the quality of the vape, the warmth and the flavor first before I show you the internals, because I'm going to have to dump the juice out that I have in here in order to show you the inside, and that's okay. So, I don't know what the millimeter measurement of the air hole is on this, but it is a airy draw. I'm going to So there, that's the air hole down on the bottom there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to vape this with the air hole pointed toward you guys, so you can hear how kind of airy this is. You can actually hear the air passing through. Hold on a sec. I'm assuming that you could hear that. So, and now, I was pulling kind of hard on that just for effect, but yeah, you can, it's an airy draw, but it's that is that loud because I was pulling extremely hard on it. If you pull a little bit softer, obviously it's going to give you a little more flavor. As you guys know, with an airy device, the harder you pull, the more vapor, the less flavor you're going to get. So don't pull as hard; it'll give you more flavor. I haven't had any issues with the flavor on the device, though. The flavor's actually been very good. It's been very clean. I haven't tasted silica like I have been able to in some other silica devices. A lot of that is going to have to do with the setup and make sure that it's wicking properly. But did it? Wow, that's funny. Hold on a sec. So, vapor production's really good. Part of that's because of the airiness of the draw, but the flavor is still there, even though it does have that airiness to it. I'm going to take another couple drags here. So yeah, like I said, the vapor production's really good. The flavor's really good. It's got a nice clean flavor. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to pull it as hard as I can now, because that's just silly. But I don't love the draw. It's a little too airy for my personal taste, but a lot of people do like an airier draw. So it'll be good for folks that do that don't like a tight draw as much. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump out the juice that I have in here. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you what the inside looks like. So this guy, hold on. All right. Very snug. This is why it's got the knurling. So, alright. Let me just clean a little bit of the juice off the outside of this so I don't get juice all over the place. So, hold on, guys. Alright. There we go. So, this is what the device looks like without the, so this is the tank. This is what it looks like under the hood, okay? So it's very similar to a K-Fun, all right? It's got adjustable juice control, so you turn the drip tip and then adjust the juice flow. So you have a couple of wicks that you can set up a couple different ways. I've heard some people set it up kind of Penelope style, where you push a couple of the wicks down into those little side channels, which, hold on, I'm going to turn off autofocus again so that I can get in there. Okay. So, a lot of people set this up with the wick down in that little side channel, like I did. What I did was I made like an 8-strand wick, and I put just a little bit of it down inside that channel there, as you can see. And you can see on the other side, it's down inside that channel as well. You don't want to fill the channel though, or else it won't wick properly. And then I took the rest of the wicks and I pointed them up, which helps, you know, once it's soaked, that helps wick via gravity onto the coil. And then the air hole is directly underneath there, as you can see. So, which is nice. You know, one of the nice things about this is you're going to be able to adjust the location of the coil a little bit if you want to adjust the throat hit and the vapor production. You know, lifting it up a little bit is going to increase the flavor. Putting it closer to the air hole is going to increase the vapor. Shifting it off to the side so that it's not lined up perfectly with the air hole will do the same thing. One really, really nice thing about this device is if you see those little screws on there, you can set up this device without a screwdriver. It's just little knurled screws on there. Actually, it's a nut and a screw. And you can set it up without any tools, which is really, really nice. So you can set this thing up on the go if you got a little bit, you know, you got a pair of scissors, some wick, and some wire, and you can set one of these guys up. The diameter of the wick that I used on this, I think was, I used some 2mm on this. I found that the 3mm, which I tried first, was just a little bit too fat, and when I stuck it down into those wick channels, it was preventing it from wicking properly. Now, the other way that you can set this up is by making a real, you know, a lot of wick material, and don't even put any wick down into those channels there. You risk flooding if you do that, so you have to set it up. You have to make sure you set it up properly if you're going to go that route. But it's very doable. So, so the way that I have it set up, so basically, you know, I just kind of, you know, put the long wick that I have on the ends there pointed up in there, and then do the same thing on the other side. And then screw it down so that the rest of the wicks are inside those little channels, as you can see. And then we'll screw it down. And there's still a little bit of juice on there, so I can show you, and I'll take a vape. There you go. And it vapes just fine. So, really, really easy to set up. There we go. Get rid of auto, or get autofocus back on there. So, that's a good. Actually, Meridian, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. But anyway, so it's really, really simple to set up. It's just, you know, wire under one side, you've got the coil, wire under the other side, screw them both down, done. You know, make sure that the coil is tight enough so that it's, you know, touching the wick all the way around, and not too tight that it's choking off the wick and preventing it from wicking properly. And here is Fred, and Fred, say hello. Say hello. Oh, he doesn't want to say hello, he's being shy. Alright, so, yeah. The setup on this thing, like I said, super, super easy. And the quality of the vape that you get is definitely very, very good. Very similar to a K-Fun, which has excellent flavor. I liked the K-Fun a lot. I definitely like this device. And you can actually set it up with mesh too. Yes, you could set it up with a mesh U-wick if you wanted to. It's a little less forgiving if you do that. And you're also going to potentially risk, it's a lot easier to flood it if you do that too. So, you know, definitely for someone that hasn't, that doesn't have a lot of experience with setting up a mesh wick on a device that's designed for a silica wick, you know, I don't know that I would recommend that, but you certainly can. You know, it's no harder than setting up a mesh wick on like a a dripper, for example. So yeah, so overall, I know I did the review a little bit backwards there, did the under the hood last, but overall, I really like this device. If you're looking for a Silica hybrid, I think this might be the only one on the market. Well, no, there's actually a couple others on the market. There's a couple German ones. But anyway, this is a really good one. You know, the vape quality is the same as a K-Fun, which is really, really high. You know, it's well made. It's well constructed. Negatives, you know, I guess the lock ring can have some issues with depending on the length of your battery. Again, I didn't experience that personally. It's airy, so if you don't like an airy draw, then this is not going to be for you. Didn't have any issues with leaking on it, though. I didn't have any issues with... The only time I ever had a leak was when I first put the top cap on after I had filled it a little bit too high. You don't want to fill it all the way to the top, and I filled it a little bit too high, and then a little bit of juice came out of the air hole. But as long as you don't overfill it, then it's fine. It's airy like a Zen, that kind of airy. It's got a very wide open draw on it, like a Zen. So it's similar. It seems like a similar draw to like a 1.5 millimeter Genesis. So that has been my experience anyway. So yeah, so that's the Mister. Definitely like the device. It's a good device. I am happy with it, and even though I got juice all over my hands, and I definitely recommend it, especially for something that's going to be easy to set up. So yeah, I do prefer a tighter draw too. Like I said, Scabby. But as long as you don't mind the airy draw, definitely recommend it. So.